guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over this pretty entertaining article titled, Men Should Always Pay the Bill. And guys, this article isn't written by a gal, this article is written by a man. And he's pretty much chastising men for pretty much the way a lot of guys have gone down a certain path where they're no longer going to go down the gentleman route because they realize that being a gentleman gets you treated like crap a lot of the time by certain gals, or at the very least, that kindness is perceived for weakness. And so he's essentially, to no joke, chastising guys for doing a lot of things I tell you guys not to do. And in particular, he is responding to an article where a effinist tells guys that even though I'm an effinist, you should still pay the bills. And a lot of guys had comments about that and everything, and he's pretty much attacking them. And you're going to see real quick, guys, as I go through this, the type of guy he is. And I mean, total nice guy, clueless, and you're going to see other clues here as to figure out what the type of guy he is. I'm not going to say too much here. I'll let you fill in the blanks here. But it's definitely funny, and this guy definitely deserves to have me add my 2 cents and opinions on his opinions here in this particular video. So it starts off, he says again, men should always pay the bill. Bill paying as a man on a date is a no-brainer. I don't care if she asked you out. I may have had too much caffeine today because I've been on a soapbox in my writings all day long. Plus, this is my 50th writing on Medium, and I'm hoping one of my best. Dude, caffeine doesn't even come close to what I've been thinking and what many of you guys are going to think upon how this guy acts. And you're going to see, guys, in how he writes and everything, he's definitely very emotional. And what type of guys are emotional? Usually feminine guys. He says, are we really living in a world where men think they shouldn't pay the bill if they got on a date with a woman? Can this be real life? Or do these men really think it's okay to split the bill? Well, a lot of guys ultimately end up splitting the bill because a lot of women nowadays want to split the bill. In fact, there are guys that have been yelled at times and had the woman get angry at them because she felt they should split the bill because it's all about equality and all that. So there's a reason why. And also a lot of guys are like, hey, if we're all about the times of equality, why should I have to pay the whole thing? Or even in the case if she asked them out. I asked this question because I just read another writer's story on Medium detailing her experience with this. And the title was, I'm an effinist and I think he should pay the bill. I absolutely love what she wrote. Would you mind going to read it and coming back to me? You can see what I highlighted in her article, Claire is dead on right. Oh, I read it and did a whole video on this thing and I tore it apart. He says, as I read her words, I was like, yes, 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 and absolutely. You can most definitely be an effinist, a strong, independent gal who might even likely make more money than the man you're out with, and he should still pay the damn bill. What decade are you in? What century are you in? Nowadays, being a gentleman and the nice guy doesn't work. All these behaviors like pulling out chairs and opening doors and all that stuff, and that it's ridiculous, but that kindness is perceived as weakness by many. You ever notice the guys that the gals go after don't do this stuff? And as many guys say, when the gals start acting like ladies, we'll start acting like gentlemen. Well, this guy is definitely in a different time. He says that the woman insisting on splitting is as to avoid any confusion and it makes her feel more comfortable. That's something entirely different. As men, we need to put up a good fight to this and insist and ensure, which are 2 key words. Insist on paying because it's the right gentleman thing to do, and ensure we expect nothing from paying. Dude, I don't know who you are, but pretty much every guy certainly is hoping down the road to get something from the dates. And if you're not, you're full of crap. And as we need to do the right thing that gentlemen do, dude, I'm not a gentleman, and I don't encourage any of you guys to be gentlemen because you all know what happens to guys that act like gentlemen. And these gals, they chase the bad boys. They chase the a-holes that don't act like gentlemen. He says, obviously, I'm a little worked up over this, you think? And I'm not even at the most ludicrous part of the story. I decide I'm going to clap like 50 times for this piece and write a response. I saw there were some other responses and started to read. I almost lost my mind at what I was reading from other men that didn't agree with her. I screenshot a few what they said. Now, I'll click a link to the article, and you'll be able to see what some of the guys wrote in response to this woman's article. So I'm not going to read them, but you can see that. And now he says his soapbox rant. First of all, hold up while I get my mic and step back on the soapbox and speak for chivalrous men on white steeds everywhere. Why in the hell are these men reading a post with a effenism tag anyway? Is it so they can be contrary, be a-holes? Some severe feathers ruffled, and grown-ass men caught all the way up in their feelings, God forbid. A effenist woman wanting a man to treat on a date. How dare they? We should hang them all for witchcraft. Yeah, the article is about an effenist woman who wanted men to pay on a date. And I made the argument, aren't you all about equality? You know, come on here. And I've known guys who have been out on dates with women that are definitely on the effenist side of things, and they got barked at for wanting to split the bill. For wanting to pay for the bill. I kid you not. So, of course, you're going to have guys aren't going to want to do this, amongst many other things. Or I've seen women that snapped at guys for opening the door or pulling out chairs. I can open my own door. I can pull up my own chair. But this guy is clueless, and you're going to see, as I go into this, some real clueless parts about this guy. He says, I'm on the rarefield mind that I can read something on social media or an article, and if I disagree with it, I simply move on with my life like the adult that I am. I know, the concept is cuckoo for everyone to do so. I can't believe I used the word cuckoo in lieu of crazy for this article. LOL. This guy literally is writing like a woman. The way he writes, you can see he's emotional, and the LOLs laughing at his thing. And he's giving a hard time to guys for responding to her article and reading it, and thinking you're just doing it there to start turmoil and drama online. What's this guy doing? He read her article, read the responses to articles, and now he's doing an article based on the responses and insulting them for responding to their articles, but he's doing the same thing. He says they were so offended by what she wrote that they felt the need to take the time and respond to this article. Unreal. I'm still pissed off, and it's been hours since I read Claire's writing. Dude, you're that worked up over this? Really? What does it say about your emotional state? What kind of guy does it say you are? A more masculine guy or a more feminine guy in touch with his emotions and now needs to vent like some of the gals do? Could you imagine these guys reading this SHIT that I wrote? Ha ha ha. A fellow man calling them out on their BS. Fellas, it's unquestionably okay for a woman to want you to pay for the bill in her mind. And you know what? Unfortunately, there's plenty of guys out there like this who'll be more than happy to take gals out left and right, spend all his money, and guess what? She's got no interest in them, but she knows this sucker will pay. And that's what I'm trying to save guys from, amongst many other things. This guy probably wouldn't like the fact that I tell guys to meet on a date for one drink only, so you're not going to waste all your money on some gal that has no interest in you whatsoever. He says here, it's also positively natural for her to be a strong, effeminist woman and evening out with a man who believes in the old timeless practice of simple chivalrous deeds like footing the bill for a meal. Chivalry is dead, my man. Okay, it's been dead a long time. And by the way, chivalry has nothing to do with dating. It was a thing with knights back in medieval times, and has nothing. And that was just a word used for this time that has nothing to do with its original intent. But you're getting on the issue of being a gentleman. The issue of being the times of being a gentleman are long gone. Not in 2021. Not with this crowd nowadays. He says, I love Claire's point that women spend quite a bit of money looking nice for a man when they go out with them. Men, if they've accepted an invite from you, or maybe they have even been the invitee, they will likely have to put a lot of effort and excitement into the evening out with you. Well, it's been my experience that women actually dress up and look their best to compete with other women. Less about a guy. I've had many admit this. And I'm sure some women that may watch this will admit that too. It's more for the other women. And if they really want to get the guy, they obviously make themselves look the best they can because they know men are visual creatures and they need to look as visually appealing as possible. But in that article, she made out to be like they shouldn't have to pay the bill because of all the effort they put into dressing up. You mean you took a shower, so you should be rewarded for taking a shower, or you combed your hair, so you should be commended for combing your hair. We take showers, we comb our hair. Come on here. He says, are we as men really going to ask our woman to split the bill with us? Sure. Are we as men also going to hold the door halfway open for women? Maybe pull the chair out halfway for them? I know what, we can drive them halfway home and let them walk or Uber the rest of the way too. Sorry, babe, you're too independent for me to drive your full way home. That's even if we picked her up for the date. He's talking about opening doors and pulling out chairs. I tell you guys not to open doors. Don't pull out chairs. Don't open car doors. Because, again, that old-fashioned gentlemanly behavior well, being tempted to be perceived as trying too hard and trying to kiss her butt and put her on a pedestal. And we all know what happens when you do that. And again, the guys that don't do that stuff tend to be hooking up with the gals left and right. But this guy, something tells me this guy is not exactly rolling with the ladies, unless maybe he's taking them out and buying them drinks and food all the time, but not getting anywhere beyond that. But he doesn't mind because he is an upstanding gentleman. He says, I feel sick just thinking of this. I can't think of anything more cringe in the entire damn dating universe. I won't even let my friends that are women pay for lunches, dinners, or drinks. You see that? He's the guy that has lots of girlfriends he takes out, and he won't let them pay the bill. So I'm sure there's plenty of gals that love to hang out with him and know that Joe over there is going to be more than happy to pay for my dinner and drinks and all that because he's a gentleman. Today's world, Joe, whatever your name is, they're plenty going to take advantage of you. Come on, bro, wake up. And don't lecture us about these things. You are clueless. He says, hell, I don't even like my guy friends paying the bill. Maybe that's why my bank account looks like the way it does. LOL. There you go. Obviously, he doesn't have a whole lot of money because he's the guy who always pays for things. That guy. I believe I said before my Chivalry and Sausage DM article that even if the date is terrible or you weren't into her, you should still be chivalrous to her and set a standard for other men she might date. Where do these guys come from? There's absolutely nothing wrong with being a gentleman to a woman you decided you have no interest in. Final thoughts. Final thoughts, dude. There is still many pages left in this. Your final thoughts? Final thoughts. Be mindful of the effect that women do go into putting into... let me start over here. Be mindful of the effort that women do put into going on a date. The anticipation of finally going out and spending an evening with a guy she finds interesting and maybe attractive to only find out he's a dick and wants her to pay for half the damn dinner bill. Ugh. Again, this is a man who wrote ugh. You don't know how long it's been since she's been out with someone. How excited she has been for the date. Oh my God, this dude is putting these gals so hard on a pedestal. And there's these sweet, perfect angels. Come on, dude. Where have you been? Have you been frozen for like 80 years and now you're coming up from 1940 and thinking that's how things are? It's not how things are nowadays. I can't begin to imagine how bad this guy has been taken advantage of and will be taken advantage of with this mindset. This guy would clearly hate my channel. He says, we men need to look at as an outright privilege to pay the bill when we've been able to court a woman out for an evening. And there is no way to not look at this. Note, niente, zine, zero. Am I making myself clear here? Dude, if anybody else is listening to this video at this point, you know you're not making yourself clear. Look what he's talking about. A privilege to pay the bill and privilege to be out with a gal for the evening. Have you ever gotten any, dude? I mean, seriously. And there's going to be some guys that may listen to this crap. Guys, you're watching this now. If you've done any of that, you know darn well if you do any of the things this guy talks about, what's going to happen. Don't even go on the damn date if you want the bill split. If this is some power trip mind game to have her split the bill with you, then you're even more of an a-hole than I originally thought. Ladies, where chivalry is concerned, I'm always an ally for it. Y'all, I got your back. I'm taking deep breaths as I write this. LOL. I write LOLs and ha-has at the end of sentences like sitcoms do with the applause sign or light so that you know I'm trying to be funny. My guys, please can we not ever make this an issue again? I don't think I can handle it. I will really hunt you down and find any man who's asking to split the bill like Liam Neeson in Taken. I have a unique set of skills. I will find you. Ha ha. Oh, please do find me. And please do find these guys, because I tell guys to go ahead and split the bill. I tell guys don't pull out the chair, don't open the doors, don't open the car doors, because you know what's going to happen if you do. I got to wonder if this is actually an account where it's actually a gal writing all these things, not a dude. Because this guy acts just like too much like a gal. He says, expect nothing in return from paying for the meal and or night out, except the pleasure of her company for all evening. In other words, treat her like royalty, put her on a pedestal, kiss her ass. Come on, dude. There's this great scene in the movie Scent of a Woman with Al Pacino. I'm thinking right now, of course you like that movie. A monologue I actually did while auditioning to get into acting school a long time ago. Acting school. Now we're getting somewhere. 3 students at this private preppy school let Chris O'Donnell's character take the heat from them over a prank they did. Chris is being punished at a school hearing in front of the entire school because he refuses to rat them out. Al Pacino's character is blind and he gets up and starts defending Chris's character, like literally his character as a person. In one of those sentences he says, "If you think you're preparing these minnows for manhood, you better think again. What kind of show are you guys putting on here today?" After a long rant, he mentions the 3 boys' names and yells out to the audience, "Wherever you are out there, F you too." It's a brilliant scene and won Al the Oscar for Best Actor. Why do I bring this up in closing? Because it reminded me of exactly what I'm saying to the 3 cowardly men responding to an article that they disagree with. Pay the damn bill, mic drop. P.S. Tip the waiter or waitress well too, or I'll find you. Where do these guys come from? I still am convinced either this is a girl in disguise writing this, or it's a guy who's been frozen for 80 years, like Captain America, and then thawed out, and this guy still thinks it's 1940 and having these ideas. But get the hell out of here. And again, he's got F you and turning minnows into men, whatever the hell he's rambling on about. If guys followed his advice, they're going to be one-way ticket to the friend zone and broke. So don't do what this guy says. Now, just for fun, I had a few comments here. Few comments people wrote about him. One guy says, "I thought this was a satire, but I guess it's just a simp post. But hey, to each their own. Good luck out there, Mr. Chivalrous Knight." Another guy says, "Any other guys here want to join me in a free lunch from our dear Must Pay for Everyone Male Friends author?" Yeah, this guy admitted he pays for all the gals, he pays for all the guys. What the hell? Somebody trying a little too hard? Another guy says, "Ha ha, you're a pretty emotional guy to write something like this. I think it's half of the puzzle. A healthy, mature, self-respecting man would certainly offer to pay, but so would a healthy, mature, self-respecting woman. Paying all the time can lead to codependency and other issues resulting from a one-way relationship, and that's not healthy." Exactly. Ideally, you get a couple where both people in equality mature, giving and willing to pitch in. Another guy says, "Ha ha, this is mislabeled. It's under love, but 100% sure it should be under satire." Yeah, I mean, I really don't think this is a joke. This guy's dead serious. And to show you the mindset. And I know a couple guys, one in particular who's a great guy, but he is like the world's last gentleman. And he definitely does the gentlemanly stereotypes, and is no wonder that his wife, although she's cool, even though he's a good guy, she definitely wears the pants in that relationship. But I don't want to elaborate too much on that. But the days of gentlemen are long over. Chivalry is dead. You act this way, you're going to be taken advantage of. Mark my words. Anybody disagrees with me, be sure to comment down below. So, all right, guys, I thought you'd find that one pretty funny. It's one thing to have gals lecturing guys about these types of things, but when you actually have another dude who's that clueless, this guy needs my help. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me just think about this. And, guys, you ever come across a really good article or story you'd like to share, by all means, email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And that also includes any good stories you have in your own personal lives, things you've overcome. I'd love to hear the story. Just email it to me. Make sure you write out really well, good paragraphs, punctuation, all that to make it easy for me to read. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.